Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Elizabeth and I am a 43-year-old mother of two, in case you're new here. I do have two sons. One is an adult who is living on his own, and I have a 15-year-old that is in high school. So my home right now is just me and my 15-year-old. I'm on a journey this year to stockpile my home with a year's worth of food, or 12 months worth of food. I currently have about 6 months on hand, and I don't feel like the world is going to end. I don't want to spread that message. I simply feel like the prices that we are currently paying for our goods and services is going to increase greatly. Not just food, but property tax. I do feel like all of those things are going to increase. I don't want us to be afraid, or I don't want us to feel anxious about it. I want us to come up with the plan and work the plan. My plan right now is I'm spending $160 a week for groceries. $60 is for the weekly rotating items, and $100 is for items to add to my stockpile. When I say weekly rotating items, it's just the items that we're going to consume within the week. I did a really good job last week. My son was on spring break last week. So there are so many things that we did not eat through. So it's going to lighten up how much I have to spend for the weekly rotating portion. So I don't shop without a menu or my calculator. I do not go over $160. I was always supposed to get my $160 in cash, but the last 2 weeks I have been swiping my card for convenience, and I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go out of my way to get to an ATM and get the cash so that I can just be more efficient. I'm not going to get comfortable because I feel myself getting comfortable as my stockpile increase. I'm going to stick to the parameters I gave myself to start. Anyway, in order to know what I'm buying from the grocery store, I create a menu to know what we're going to eat for the week and use what I have in the house first, so that all I'm picking up from the grocery store is items that we don't have on hand when it comes to the weekly rotating portion. So let's just take a look at my menu for the upcoming week. So on Monday, Jeremiah is gonna cook. My youngest son loves cooking. He asked, can he cook every day next week? But he plays a lot of sports and he gets home late, and I just want him to be able to eat and relax and let his body recover from all of that practice. We have soccer through the school, and travel soccer has also began, so no, he can't. But he does love to cook, and Monday his schedule's a little lighter, so I have him down to cook on Monday. Tuesday we're gonna have Dorito nachos, which is just when you use the Dorito chips as the chips for the nachos. I'm doing fish and salad on Wednesday. Thursday we're gonna have lemon pepper wings and mashed sweet potatoes. Jeremiah doesn't like sweet potatoes. I love sweet potatoes. So you're gonna see that I'm getting regular potatoes so that I can mash those up so he can have regular mashed potatoes. Friday is always my free night. Free doesn't mean I'm not cooking. Free just means I'm cooking whatever is quick and easiest for me using what we have on hand. And then Saturday is a seafood boil. I love seafood boils, and we haven't had it in a while. Given my menu, the only thing that I need is potatoes for the seafood boil. Everything else I have. Everything I need for Dorito nachos. We have ground turkey. We have fish on hand for the fish and salad. I have romaine lettuce. All of the components that I will need to facilitate next week's menu, we have. So that lets me know I'm doing, my system is working for me. The goal is I need Walmart less because I'm shopping at Walmart. It's the cheapest store in my area. So it's working. The only thing I'm gonna need is potatoes, and I also want to get tortillas for breakfast burritos. but that's not here. And my menu starts, my week starts from Thursday to Wednesday. I get paid on Thursday. I grocery shop on Thursday. The only day I go into any store is on Thursday. I'm really on a goal to make sure I am stewarding my finances to the best of my abilities. Going into a store every day is not a method that works for me. Thursday allows me to take care of everything and lock my cards for the rest of the week. I don't have a credit card. I don't have any credit cards. I haven't had credit cards in over 10 years. All I have is my debit card. But I lock it Thursday night, and I don't unlock it until Thursday morning of the next week. Yeah, Thursday's the only shopping day. So I have two lists. I have a list for my weekly rotating items that's $60, and then I have a list for items to add to my stockpile. So my grocery list, I have tortillas because I'm gonna do breakfast burritos on Saturday. I cook breakfast for Saturday and Sunday. Every Saturday and Sunday morning we cook breakfast. Jeremiah's been cooking breakfast more than me, to be honest, lately, because he loves cooking. But I'm gonna get tortillas so we can have breakfast burritos with one of those breakfasts. Creamer, I love coffee. You will pick up on that pretty quickly. I do have one that's half open and one that's unopened in the refrigerator, but I'm getting two creamers. We are out of milk. Jeremiah has been baking brownies quite a bit, and you'll see that there are no brownies on the table, which means he's been eating them. I had one brownie. He's been eating them. I'm getting potatoes, like I said, because he likes mashed regular potatoes and I like mashed sweet potatoes. In addition to that, I'm getting strawberries and blueberries. That is one of our quick grab snacks. I cut it down, I put them into different bags and put it on the counter every morning, and he grabs it as he goes out the door. He doesn't eat breakfast, but if you put fruit in a bag, he will eat it. So this is my grocery list. That is definitely under $60, but it's okay. We're not going to try to get to $60. We're trying to spend the least amount of money. Use what we have here and give the store less money. That's the concept. So for my back stock items, that's $100. The only restriction I've given myself is I'm supposed to get 3 meats. Every week, I'm supposed to get 3 meats. I know you guys hear the plane. So it can be 3 of the same meat or 3 different meats, but I must get 3 meat. That is going to have to change after this week because the meat freezer is just about full. There isn't much more that I can put in that meat freezer, being quite honest. So I do have 2 packs of drumsticks. I am heavy on buying drumsticks right now because they're the cheapest cut of meat in the store that we eat. Like, we love drumsticks, and you can get it for $5 to $6 right now. So 2 family packs of drumsticks. A family pack of meat in my house is 2 meals. It allows me to feed us for dinner and have meat for lunch to go to work the next day. So 2 family packs of drumsticks, 4 packs of the ground turkey, 4 packs of the 8-count breakfast sausage, and from there I'm doing disinfecting wipes, the 3-pack, floor cleaner, scrubbing bubbles, and 2 bottles of dish detergent. My grocery budget also is for home essentials. So not only is it food, but it also is home essentials. And those are the things that I'm going to stockpile. Just so you can see. And that is pretty much how I work my how I menu plan and how I come up with my list for the store. This year, I want to make sure that I'm stewarding my money to the best of my abilities. I want to make sure that I am conscious of what I'm spending, and I am only buying things that we are actually going to eat. I don't want fear and anxiety to run how I move with my money in this season. I want to have a level head. I want to stay grounded. I'm teaching myself to be still and know, regardless of what's going on in the world, God got me. There's no need for me to do anything but stay in His will and trust that He is going to always provide. He has given me common sense to know the money that I have coming in, I have to steward it in a way that's going to propel my family forward. So using a menu helps me come up with what we're going to eat. Using a menu also forces me to use what we have in the home. That's the goal. Use what we're stockpiling. And B, it gives me a template on looking at what we have stocked in the home, what we need to be most efficient. Stockpiling for me is not prepping for the end of the world, because I don't feel like that's coming. It's not hoarding food because I'm scared. Stockpiling for me is simply creating a buffer between me and inflation. When prices go up, my paycheck is going to continue to look the same. If I have food in my home, that means I don't need the grocery store as much as I currently need it. I can go a while before I buy that item if I have it in home. If everything I need I gotta go and get from the grocery store every week, then I'm subjective to whatever that price is. Whatever the price they set it is what I gotta pay if I gotta have it. But putting a buffer between it means if I have to pay a little more for something, I can still do that and stay within budget because I have other things at home. That's what it ultimately is. Stockpiling is just a buffer to make sure that the budget that I set, I can stay within that budget regardless of what the economy does. That's the point. I want you guys to know that I have come up with the concept that I'm running my home like a Fortune 500 company. Last year in January, my company announced that it was laying off over 10,000 management positions. We literally went 2 months without knowing if our position was one of the management positions being cut. All we knew is that the positions were going to be terminated permanently. AI technology would be replacing those management positions, and that everybody who was being removed would get a severance. For 2 months, everybody in my facility was on pins and needles. I'm in management. Not knowing if it was our department, not knowing if it was us, not knowing anything. And when it was over, they didn't even say like, okay, we've already let them know. I asked like, what's going on? And that's when he said, oh, they already know. They've been given notice. And I got mad. I really was upset with my company for 2 months. I like where I work, but I was upset for 2 months because it felt like they did not consider that we had families. They did not consider like we spent years devoted to this company, and I was mad. But anytime I'm upset for a long period of time, I'm learning that it's because it's highlighting what I did not do. It was never my job's company to make sure my family was straight. It was always my job. They never lost sight of what their main objective was, which was to increase profit margins to appease their shareholders. They kept to their core principles the entire time. I got comfortable and relied on them. That experience last year in January taught me that a job is just an end to a means. Those people, that company does not owe you anything at all. It was a hard pill for me to swallow, but they don't owe me anything. Everything that they've said in those morning meetings, because you're going to have a morning meeting. They're going to tell you what you did yesterday and tell you what we're doing today. In every meeting, they let us know what the core principle was: to reduce expenses and to create profit margin. They stuck to that principle all the years I've been there. I'm the only one who got comfortable with receiving a paycheck in the comfort of it. That's on me. A job is an end to a means. You use it as a resource. While you have that resource, you maintain it and manage it to the best of your abilities. I wrote down last April, when I came to that realization, exactly what my company current model is for the economic times we are in. This was April of 2024. My company model is to be better, not bigger. Focus on inner sourcing 100% of their resources. Efficiency reimagined by using AI technology. That's their core principle. The whole goal of the company is to become more profitable and agile by any means necessary. Everything that my company is doing, I'm doing. I'm becoming better, not bigger, which means I'm not trying to expand. I'm not trying to add on more. We will be buying no new cars. I will not be taking on a credit card. I will not be doing anything to inflate my current budget. Nothing that's going to make me pour out more money. Everything is to reduce how much money I'm spending. Better, not bigger. Focusing on inner sourcing 100%, which means things like someone cutting my grass, I'm cutting my own grass. Things like buying fruits and vegetables that are pre-cut, no. I'm buying it and I'm cutting it at home myself. It's cheaper. It's cheaper. Whatever I need to do to be more efficient, I am focusing on that. Every month they give a newsletter, and I'm taking everything from that newsletter and using it, or trying to figure out how to use it to make me better. I have that position, or I have the position that I currently have because I am of service to that company. If they find a cheaper way to get the job done, they will not have me there. And I sit at a computer every day, all day long. A computer, AI is going to take that position in time. Hopefully not soon, but it will. I am making a contingency plan to sustain my family through a job loss. When the market is in a downturn, or the economy is in a downturn, finding a job that is comparable to what you currently have takes longer. I am a single income household. A year's worth of expenses had to happen. Last April, when this happened, I had about 5 months of expenses saved. I quickly saved a year. I cut everything to save a year. And once I got to January of this year, I thought, when I was coming up with my number for what I need monthly to maintain my family, at that time I was spending $200 a week in groceries. In January, I did the math, and if I can take that $200 a week that I put in my budget when I was coming up with what my emergency fund needed, that's $10,400 that I have to go somewhere else. But the only way I can take that money, not physically take that money, but I can take groceries from that bottom line of what's in my emergency fund, is if I have food for us to eat. So that's how I came up with a year's worth of food, because it's going to make my money go further if we have food here. I want us to know that we're going to make it through these current economic changes. We have to come up with a plan. I feel like I don't watch the news. In February, I made the decision for myself that I was no longer consuming the news. I never really had any social media. I had a TikTok, but I started a TikTok like a month ago. I don't have a Facebook or Instagram or any of those things, but I'm consuming 24 hours of bad news does nothing for my mental. I'm not the type of person that can consume that all the time and move from a place of power. God got me, and I have been working the plan that I know is best for my family in this season. We're gonna be okay. And I want you all to take that same principle. I don't want you to feel like, what's the point? I can't do this. We're working for nothing. Life is so hard. I don't want you to talk, to give yourself that self-talk. I want you to tell yourself, you got this. You're gonna do this. Where am I right now, and how do I get better? Even if all you can do right now is cut back on coffee from Starbucks. Try to figure out how to make coffee at home that works for you. I don't have that problem. I only love coffee at home, but that can help. Saying I'm not gonna go through the drive-through this week. I'm not gonna eat out. Cutting back in any way you can think of. That'll help. Little things add up to be big things, and all you need is one win to feel like you can do it. You just gotta figure out what's the smallest inconvenience for you, because that's all it is we don't want to be inconvenienced. But what's the smallest inconvenience for you, and make yourself stick to that. And once you get that win, it'll all start to fall. But you are responsible for your family. You are responsible for your home. You are responsible for it all. We have to work a plan. We have to know that there's light at the end of the tunnel, and we can do it. And I just want you to get that. I don't want a bunch of anxious people, because it's hard for me to control my thoughts, which is why I don't have social media much. Other than, like I said, the TikTok that I recently got. It's hard for me to thrive off of that. And I am the head of my household, and I have to move from a place of power. I have to have hope. Reading my Bible. But I have to find hope in something. And I don't feel like I'm alone in that. I'm not the only one who feels a little bit anxious currently. But all you can do is come up with a plan and work it. You have to have a plan, and you have to work it. With all that said, I'm me. So I come to you guys with one perspective. I only can tell you how I see things. I only can give you my view, my vantage point on it. The greatest aspect of my YouTube channel growing is there are thousands of eyes now. Thousands of views and ways of seeing things, and I'm so open to learning. I don't know much. I know very little. And you guys have things that you're doing well in your life, and you can help me. This whole concept of a year's worth of emergency fund, stockpiling food, has all transformed due to my job, integrating AI and not knowing for 2 months if I was going to have a job. I never had the ability to go back to just going to work and now being happy for the check. It changed me. But all tough things in life change you. And it can be change you to a way that makes you bitter, or change you to a way that makes you better. Let's be better. We're supposed to be better. Let's get better together. You are free to comment on anything I said and anything that I'm doing. If you feel like you know a more efficient way of doing things, please let me know. From my most sincere heart space, I just want to learn. I just don't want to be scared and anxious and worried. I just don't want to live there. And I just want a community of people who know that it's different, but we have a plan. We don't even know if the plan is 100% solid, but we have a plan. And we're not afraid to share with each other what our plans are so we can all grow together. Let's create a positive space to like grow and do better. That's all I really want. And I hope that's all that I'm giving to you, is a positive space to grow and be better people. Give us some good news. Give me some good news. My soul needs good news. It's not often. But I've created this little cocoon that I'm so grateful to God that I have created for me and my boys. And I want to make it better. But if all I see is my view, I can't make it better. You guys offer me the opportunity to make this cocoon even better. Because there really is love here. There really is this unspeakable peace here. And I just want to make it better. And I just want to not just live in this cocoon and not offer what I have to you. I want us all to be here. Doing better and getting better by yourself doesn't feel the same as when we can all do it together. Grab my jacket and let me grab your hair, your jacket, whatever you have on in this moment, and let's build something greater. Like, let's build each other up. Let's create a community like nothing I'm seeing right now. I need that. I need that, and I want to be that. So I hope I helped you guys, and I want the best for you all. Take care, and God bless.